Batting first for Team China, right fielder, number 6.
A jam-packed Tokyo Dome, full and buzzing for Shohei Ohtani. His numbers from last season with the Angels, another MVP caliber campaign as he finished runner-up to the New York Yankees star Aaron Judge.
Shohei Ohtani and his remarkable repertoire. Simply go out there and challenge these young hitters as you're getting ready for a season and competing and trying to win. But for Shohei, as he's told me through the years, he needs to have a consistent arm slot as he builds strength and stamina for the season.
Young Pei, the right fielder, starting things off for China, fouled back 1-1.
Expect to see a lot of fastballs.
And I think the viewers can hear at home that buzz quiet to a silence before every single pitch. In there for strike 2. Two and two. For the last 2 seasons, Ohtani has made a tweak to his pitching repertoire. Cut down on his 4-seam fastball usage and almost doubled his slider usage, while also dialing back a little bit on that dominant splitter. Strike 3 swinging. A K to begin Ohtani Senshu's evening. The starting lineup for Dean Trainer and Team China. Hone in on that 3 spot, the center fielder, Yusuke Masago, Chinese heritage, and he is batting 2 spots in front of the seasoned veteran, the designated hitter Ray Chang. Had a great chat with Ray pregame. He's back for another World Baseball Classic. Strike 1 to begin the battle between Ohtani and Yang Jin. There is Chang on the right, Dean Trainer, the manager for Team China, on the left. Chang, a player coach for Team China in this event. .98 miles per hour for Shohei. Misses the strike zone.
I can say I had never experienced silence between pitches in any site I've ever watched baseball in.
Called. Not sure where that missed, but it did. 2 balls and a strike. Stu Sherwater, a Canadian, of course, in the part of the big league umpiring crew, calling balls and strikes.
Great wraparound slider by Shohei right there.
Yang Jin to the left side. Tosuke Genda, the shortstop, up with it. How about the defensive alignment for Samurai Japan behind Shohei Ohtani? Okamoto, Maki, Genda, Murakami from first to third. Yoshida, Lars Nootbaar, and Kensuke Kondo from left to right in the outfield. Takuya Kai, the battery with Shohei Ohtani. Now the player who received the largest and loudest ovation during the pregame ceremony and introduction. That's Yusuke Masago. Plays for the Hitachi Baseball Club in the Industrial League. Was born in Kyoto City in Japan. His father, though, is Chinese. His mother is half Chinese and half Japanese. He grounds out, and a 1-2-3 first inning for Shohei Ohtani. But he's got to get ready to bat. Because he's due up third as the designated hitter, batting behind Japan's new favorite player, Lars Nootbaar. Back for the bottom of the first inning. Samurai Japan and Team China opening up action in Pool B at the 2023 World Junior Championship. And here is the starting lineup for Kuriyama-san. Hideki Kuriyama, the manager for Samurai Japan, making his national team managerial debut. He is trotting out Lars Nootbaar in center field and leading off 2 spots in front of Shohei Ohtani. Behind Shohei, Munetaka Murakami, coming off one of the most spectacular seasons in the history of NPB. More on that when he steps up to the plate. Starting for Team China, 19-year-old Xiang Wang. The left-hander offers a fastball. It sits between 83 and 86 miles per hour. What else has he got?
Well, the best thing is go out there and try to pitch ahead. You use anything that you can in your assortment. Keep it simple, play catch. But also, you're here for a reason. Go out there and show that talent. He's got a lot of that.
Teammates say he is a strike thrower. First pitch to Lars Nootbaar, grounded up the middle. And Tachan delivers for the home crowd in the Tokyo Dome. Some Samurai Japan history there, Jose. First, the defensive alignment for Team China. Jie at first base, Jin Jun at second, Jin at short. Chen Chen at third base. Ko Young Kang at left field. Yusuke Masago in center. And Liang Pei in right field. Ning behind the dish.
There's Lars.
Pitch and catch with Xiang Wang.
Nootbaar stopped smiling yet?
Well, I mean, that's Lars Nootbaar, if you know new. First ever Japanese-American player to be named to a Japanese national team.
Savoring every minute that he is going to receive here with open arms. Still a great disposition. He's had great personality.
Right fielder Kensuke Kondo awaits the 1-0. Holds up, and now he's ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. Stars for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in NPB. Listed at 5'7", 176. The 29-year-old making his World Baseball Classic debut.
Got some bat control. Spreads the ball around.
Inside. Was a prize free agent this offseason before he signed with Fukuoka. Before that, it's been 11 years with the Nipponham Fighters. Career .307 hitter in the 2 spot as Nootbaar and him try to team up and set the table for Shohei Ohtani. That's ball 4. 2 aboard for Shohei.
Batting third, designated hitter number 16, Shohei Ohtani.
First World Baseball Classic appearance for Shohei Ohtani. Would have performed in 2017 if not for an ankle injury that kept him out of the tournament. He has his chance now. Ning coming out to talk to his 19-year-old starter. Talking to Team China coaches and officials, asked, starting a 19-year-old in this barn opposite Shohei Ohtani. Why? Well, the kid's a strike thrower and he's left-handed. A lot of lefties in that lineup.
That was the key. All the lefties up and down that lineup.
Hasn't been able to throw as many strikes as he would prefer thus far. Behind Ohtani, the 2-0. Make it 3-0.
Swing.
Four-pitch walk for Ohtani, and the bases are loaded for Samurai Japan. And by the way, just because you got through Shohei doesn't mean your trouble is done against this lineup.
Does not get any easier. And for Shohei Ohtani, that is one of those things where you see the at-bat, you see the scenario, he does not get out of that shell. Just allowed himself to allow the game to continue to be played and just let it roll, thinking about the people behind him.
Mound visit from Dean Trainer. More than 15 seasons coaching Major League Baseball and the minor leagues.
And Dean's more like a father figure to these players.
Yes.
A great teacher. We talked about his attitude and determination. Even taking the line as he's being introduced, he was told to go to home plate area. He goes, no.
I got to see my guys.
I'm going to go see my guys. And he started pushing guys. Just really, really a great motivator.
Come on, man. See, this is the good stuff.
Yes.
And what this game and this tournament is really all about.
That man's got a lot of baseball wisdom in him.
Trying to settle down his starter, who now has to contend with the two-time reigning Central League MVP, Murakami. The first unanimous winner of the Central League Most Valuable Player Award since the legendary Sadaharu Oh in 1977. Broke Sadaharu Oh's single-season NPB record for home runs by a Japanese-born player. Was 55, set in 1964, and he did it on the final day of the season, launching 56 in 2022. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
There's no doubt they've come in with a plan. So far, perfectly executed.
John Wings 2-0, misses down, 3 balls, no strike. The only strike that he's thrown so far was hit by Lars Nootbaar for a leadoff knock. 19 years old on this stage.
Yeah, it's natural.
Oh
to
gosh,
feel this way.
What an experience for this young lefty. The 3-0 to try and get back in the account. He cannot. There's nowhere to put Murakami. He walks him, and Samurai Japan takes an early 1-0 lead.
So I know when we talk about plate discipline, a hitter, well, there's also discipline in a lineup and how it evolves and how you continue to just keep the line moving with this young player. I mean, your mentality is, let's not go out there and help him out. He's got to come into the zone. Otherwise, take your base.
Now new Boston Red Sox outfielder Masataka Yoshida. There's a strike for Shang Wang to get ahead of the 29-year-old outfielder. Signed a 5-year, $90 million deal with Boston back in December. Make his MLB debut in a matter of weeks. Swings at the 0-1, popped up, shallow left field. Jin calling for it. And that's not deep enough for Kondo to tag up and score.
Big difference for a young pitcher under these circumstances, as challenging as they are. But go out there and just follow through. Look at the follow through here. Much better. Get into that zone. Reach out. You know what? A lot of pitching coaches will tell you, pretend that you're going to go out there and with your hand, you're going to shake the catcher's hand. And that's your reminder of you got to go out there and let that arm do the work for you. Get extended. Good pitch.
Perhaps that's when we can look back at a turning point for him here this evening to settle him down. Bases still loaded, 1 out. Kazuma Okamoto, the first baseman, takes a strike. Only player in MPB with at least 30 home runs in each of the last 5 seasons. That's in the air, tailing toward the right fielder and Pei. Tagging up is Kondo. There will be a play at the plate. He's out! How about that for Team China's defense?
How about the cutoff man being aligned properly, short throw into home plate, right on the lane.
Another look. Instead of blowing the game open in the first, Samurai Japan held to just 1.
Home plate blocked in that lane with the baseball. Possession with it.
And so now, I think that's probably the conversation that is happening with the umpiring crew. Hideki Kuriyama out there. Ippei Manzara.
It's about that lane.
It's 1-0 Japan after 1.
Number 19, Chen Chen.
Back in the Tokyo Dome, time for the second inning. Samurai Japan leading China 1-0, and more work upcoming for Shohei Ohtani on the mound, which means more silence here in the Tokyo Dome. It's, if we're being honest, it's kind of eerie.
By the way, I feel like I have to ask permission to talk.
Same. I want to whisper.
All right.
First pitch fouled back by Chen Chen, the third baseman.
Being respectful of what they do here, and which is absolutely beautiful.
But you got a sense, for those who have never watched a game in Japan, just the difference between when Samurai Japan is pitching versus when Samurai Japan is hitting. So he lost that arm side, 1-1. Quiet, please. 1-1 grounded to the right side. Okamoto will do it himself. Now StatCast is going to show you more about Shohei Ohtani's pitch arsenal, and Jose Moda is going to tell you about it.
It's varied through the years. Let's go back to 2022. The slider usage way up, near 40%. The four-seamer got the splitter, which also has gone down. This curveball is show me pitch along with that cutter, and it's two-seamer. Told me last year he was using some of those sinkers, two-seamers, to get some ground balls and some early outs. And by the way, you know, Shohei is one of my Japanese teachers.
Yeah, I know. You guys have a great relationship going back a number of years now, Jose.
First word he taught me in spring training.
Can you say it on television? I got to ask first.
Kutsu.
Okay.
Shoes.
I know. Okay. I'm just glad there's other words he could have taught you that you might have said there, and I was nervous for a second.
Not Mr. Ohtani.
Get in trouble.
Nah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 0-1 pitch, grounded foul by Ray Chang.
Well, contact has been made by 3 out of the 4 batters. See the velocity up to 98 so far for Shohei.
Pride of Kansas City, 39 years young, in his 4th World Baseball Classic. He told us before the game, I thought 2017 was it. I was done. And they asked me to coach for this one. And I was like, I want to play. And here he is as a player coach for Team China. How cool.
And as he told you, and then I'm facing who tonight?
Yeah, that's why he came back. The opportunity to face Shohei Ohtani in the Tokyo Dome. Are you kidding me? 100 miles per hour to greet Chang.
That's a reaction. Triple digits.
Saw Roki Sasaki, the young sensation, dial it up triple digits during the exhibitions. He's next. He's got next. Shohei's got now. A 1-2. Oh, freezes Chang. Second strikeout for Shohei.
It's a pitch that he actually learned by utilizing both sides of the play, but here it is. Front door breaking ball. On the righty way. Pitch it's not really encouraged a whole lot, as you know, by pitching coaches. It's not practiced often, but look at the reaction. A front hit flies open. Froze.
Xiao Jie, the first baseman now, batting 6th for Team China. Waves at strike 1.
Keep in mind it is early March, and Shohei did make 1 start for the Angels in preseason before flying out here to join his teammates in Samurai, Japan.
Now, conversely, China's National Baseball League has been paused for a number of years, and obviously most of this roster plays CPBL. Now, many of these players on this particular roster for the World Baseball Classic, Shohei pours in a second strike. They went to the United States in 2018, 2019 to play in the Independent American Association with the Texas Air Hogs. Try and get their reps in. Strike 3, swinging. Back-to-back punches for Shohei Ohtani to cap the 2nd inning. 6 up, 6 down for him.
The regulations for 2023. You know, going back to according to provisions of the 2022 official baseball rules with a few adjustments. So pitcher use limitations, 3-batter minimum enforced. Mound visit rule not adopted, designated hitter obviously is used. And then 2023 rule changes will not be implemented, including obviously the pitch timer, larger bases, and all those things that we're seeing all throughout spring training.
Yeah, and then we watched the opener between Team Australia and Team Korea. It was a hard downshift from what we've been witnessing in Major League Spring Training. But all kidding aside, ground ball to left side, scooped up by Chen Chen, and he throws across for the first out of the bottom of the 2nd inning. All joking aside, that was one heck of a game to open up Pool B here in Tokyo.
Yes, it was, all the way down to the last play.
Yeah.
Last play and thrown out at second base. Tommy Edman trying to steal, representing the tying run. But boy, the fighting Australians, my goodness, showed tremendous heart throughout that whole ball game.
So the Aussies with an upset to start off pool play as they try and advance to the 2nd round for the first time in their history at the World Baseball Classic.
Hey, by the way, Mr. Xiang, there's out number 1, pitching to contact. Use that defense.
Much better than the first inning, allowed the first 4 to reach base.
Yes, and I like to see him get into a rhythm where we see secondary pitches. What does it look like? Go back to back, repeat it. Get a feel for it.
One to the shortstop, Sosuke Genda. In the dirt, 2-1. It's another Look back at that play, Jose.
It was a relay, short relay.
Woo.
He's got the ball. As he blocks a plate, came very close.
And those short relays aren't always the easiest ones to make.
And actually, they're not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be further out more, or just let the ball go. You know what? But it worked.
A brush back.
Ask Derek Jeter if it worked sometimes. Huh?
I think there's that play that people may have seen a time or two. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry to bring up old stuff, Oakland A's fans.
Not by design, but mission accomplished.
Hear the chance for Genda, who takes a second strike. Count is full. Every player with a unique chant. A chant for after when Samurai Japan scores as well. It's a part of the unique and special atmosphere that we get to witness here. 3-2 pitch, grounded to second. Jin-Jun, tough play for him to make. Genda aboard with a base hit.
Contact range, and then getting after a good start right off the batter spots. Kind of like ground to cover the Jin-Jun. And the ball's not hit particularly hard.
Number 10, Takuya Kai.
That's 2 strikes against you. Soft contact, you got to go to your right, rangy, and then a fast runner makes it very impossible.
Takuya Kai, catcher. 30-year-old. Oh, another successful pickoff. That's the third one we've seen here today
World
in
Baseball
Pool B.
Classic 2023 in the pickoffs in Tokyo.
Genda waited a moment for his dugout to signal him back. There will not be a challenge. The second out.
Tip my hand to the youngster, Chiang, on another weapon that he's utilized.
Clears the bases. And now we'll start with Kai. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Stu Sherwater, Canadian crew chief, behind home plate. Cody Suarez at first base. From Spain, Ben May, the U.S. at second, and Delfin Colon from Puerto Rico. Fouled by Kai, 1-1. Coming off a down offensive year is Kai. Missed some time last season, tested positive for COVID in June, but still a premier defender. 6 straight Golden Glove awards as the best defender in his league at his position.
He possesses quite the arm, gunning down base runners.
Call him the Kai Cannon. Are now trying to do some damage with the lumber.
You know, in terms of this environment, what comes close to it, winter ball.
Oh yeah.
With the noise and the music and the chanting, and I mean,
it's on the baseball bucket list for me for sure, because every single big leaguer that I've talked to, the 3-1 pitch misses. And it's a 2-out walk for Kai. Lineup back up top for Newbar. Every single player in the big league says that's why the postseason doesn't scare them, because once you play in Winter League and Winter Ball and you're in that raucous atmosphere where it's the postseason every single day, nothing intimidates you.
And then you're at home and you're hearing it from your own fans.
Yeah. Yeah. Lars, Taylor, Tatsuji, Newtbar. singled his first time up, making some Samurai Japan history. His father Charlie is American. His mother Kumiko is Japanese. Higashi Matsuyama, the Saitama Prefecture. The pickoff attempt. That one gets away, and Kai is going to race for second base. He's going to cut the bag. Thought about third. Will hold up in scoring position for Nootbaar.
This might have been nerves right there. Step off, and nowhere near that bag. Just the knife to the appropriate grip to deliver that ball to first base. You see him blowing his hand a little wet. Yeah,
just
a little moist.
Laugh it off. It happens.
Been there.
Tarek Brock flanking Dean Traynor, so I'm pointing out directions. He's a coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates, having a new experience and a new challenge with Team China. The 1-0 to Nootbaar. They get him. He's fouled away.
Fastball got a little more run here.
You saw Sherwater ask, "Hey, did I get you?" But Lars didn't even. He wasn't even trying to sell it.
Like, nope, I want to hit.
Two balls, one strike. So his middle name, Taylor Tatsuji, it's in honor of his maternal grandfather, Tatsuji Inokita, 84 years young. And Nootbaar has Tatsuji sewn into his game glove. Just outside, 3 balls and a strike. And so Nootbaar's grandfather, Inokira-san, told the Japan News, "I am proud to see Lars wearing the Japanese uniform. I hope he hits many home runs and helps Samurai Japan win the championship. I'll be very happy if he plays a role in strengthening the ties between Japan and the U.S. through baseball."
Well, he's off to a good start.
Went after the 3-1, pulled it foul. And I'm not sure if you, looking at the local perspective here in Japan, I'm not sure that many people knew who Lars Nootbaar was before it was announced that he would play for the national team. But since then, he has quickly become perhaps the second most popular player behind Shohei Ohtani.
Well, there's no doubt.
3-2 inside. So Nootbaar aboard once again.
There has not been a wasted swing by anybody on Samurai Japan. Sticking right with that plan.
Ohtani on deck. Kondo digging in. To your point, now we're watching one of the most selective hitters in NPB. He's at 300 or better in 6 of his 8 full campaigns. And the 2 that he didn't reach that mark. In 2015 he hit 265, but in 2021 he hit 298. So. Sean Wang approaching 40 pitches here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. You talked about it off the hop, Jose. The pitch count limits established in the World Baseball Classic. In the first round, it is 65 pitches. And you may pass a limit in order to finish a plate appearance, so something to keep in mind. There are rest restrictions as well. Once you hit a certain number of pitches, you have to have a certain number of rest days. So at this point, as he's past 30, he needs at least 1 day of rest before he can pitch again. That's low. 3 balls, no strikes.
And that is something that becomes at some point a strategy for managers. Having somebody ready because they want the guy that's on the mound to be available within a day.
There's strike one.
They are making the youngster work.
They really are.
He has to earn every single strike. In the first inning, 17 pitches, only 5 strikes.
6 of 10 batters for Samurai Japan have reached base safely so far tonight. Make that 7 of 11. And the bases will be loaded for Shohei Ohtani. The other night against the Hanshin Tigers in an exhibition, dropped down on one knee for 1 home run, but he wasn't done, Jose.
No, because his second one against a left-hander was actually in a broken bat. Some splinters around home plate. Still hit it out.
Just a silly talent. I don't know if the baseball world fully comprehends what we get to watch.
Well, you talk about talent on display, right, at the highest level, but how about the ambassador that he is for the game of baseball? And the way he behaves and projects and presents the game of baseball internationally.
That's a part of his stardom. A pitching change for Team China. Shohei Ohtani and Munetaka Murakami getting the scouting report on the new pitcher for Team China. Wang Wei, 20-year-old right-hander, also making his World Baseball Classic debut. And I actually really like this for Dean Trainer. Just throwing players that this national team hopes will play in many World Baseball Classics right to the fire.
Part of the strategy. He understands the importance of being exposed to this type of giants and how much of a growing trend this will be for these guys.
And to be sure, this is really one hot fire. Bases loaded against Shohei Ohtani. He had 34 homers last year for the Halos. Healthy hat.
Please continue to watch out for violations.
Just like in the first inning, Samurai Japan has the bases loaded here in the second inning. And their best player at the dish. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Shohei being worked upstairs. He's chasing that. It was like an umpire save right there.
That pitch is down. Count level. think every cell phone in the Tokyo Dome is out right now. Full count. Yep, stop video, quickly delete, come back, start a new one.
Okay.
Jose Mota's doing the same thing here in the booth as we await the payoff pitch from Wang Wei. 3-2 pitch, ground ball left side. Jin. Nice pick at first base by Jit to end the second inning threat and keep it a 1-0 game after 2 full innings.
Shohei Ohtani. Yes, that smile, that grin, but boy, that competitive juice always flows. He wants to go out there and carve you out, show you everything. A lot of sliders today. Fastball average tonight, 98.2, which is about a full mile per hour higher than last season average with the Angels at 97.3. 22 pitches, 15 strikes.
Yeah, I would say there's some juice flowing.
Yeah.
You know?
Pitching this scenario, I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just being back home in this atmosphere has to be firing him up. Yongkan Ko ahead of Ohtani. 2 balls, no strikes.
You saw how many star players committed to the World Baseball Classic early, right? Including one Mike Trout. Well, guess what that did? It just opened up the floodgates to star players to say, I want to do it too.
Little chopper up the middle coming in. Genda. 1 down.
Steve, you know very well, you've been around Major League Baseball a long time, and you know it takes one guy to say, I'm going to get it done. Follow me. When before, there were some reservations from certain star players on doing it or not.
No doubt.
And the minute Tony Riggins, general manager for the Team USA, and contacted Mike Trout, it was like a yes. And before you know it, they had to put a stop on some guys that just couldn't fit.
Oh, absolutely. For Team USA, especially with Tony Riggins, Mark DeRosa, the manager at the helm there, and Mike Trout as the team captain, they're following 27. A little warm-up exhibition. Team USA did lose to the San Francisco Giants as they get ready for their World Baseball Classic opener, which will be started by Lars Nootbaar's teammate and Adam Wainwright.
Final season, we think.
We think.
Gotta love Waino, man.
Yeah.
For Shohei, also keep in mind there will be times, and he's told me this, when the arm is catching up with the front leg, where he will do the slide step, nobody on. And there's a time, Stephen, when he had a walk in his game when he came to the big leagues. He went as simple as sacrificing a little velocity and went slide step, found it.
2-2 pitch, poke to center. Nootbaar racing in. Lars Nootbaar for the sliding catch.
I mean, he fits. It's the way he plays the game. Tremendous determination. The reaction from the fans, absolutely superb.
Those two have struck up quite a bond and a friendship in a hurry.
That'll make it tighter. Save me a base hit, my friend.
That's right.
Thank you.
At the bottom of Team China's order.
Okay, so Steve, you are a starting pitcher in the big leagues. You have your routines of weights, conditioning, bullpens, right? Video sessions. Oh, by the way, you're also the team's slugger. So there's batting practice.
Yeah,
There's tweaking swings. There's approach. There's hitters meetings. There's pitchers meetings. I mean, the load that Shohei carries.
Trainers and physical therapists
Yes.
to get your body right.
His load has been unmatched. No other player in the big leagues has had to do what he does on a regular basis to be ready to play. Nobody, ever.
And when you were around him with the Angels, Jose, how much of an impact do you feel that had on his teammates? Witnessing what he does to get ready to do this every day.
Most players were in awe and saying, are you kidding me? Position players, Mike Trout once said, I could not be doing that. Pitching and doing what he does at that level.
Ground ball to Maki at second. 9 up, 9 down. Still a 1-0 game. Almost set for the bottom of the third inning. Samurai Japan has loaded the bases twice in 2 innings, and yet just 1-0. Early lead for Shohei Ohtani. You wonder how much he's going to be able to work tonight. 9 up, 9 down. You'd like to keep him going,
sure.
Just from a selfish fan standpoint.
34 pitches.
Samurai Japan 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And they've left 5 runners on base. Wang Wei quickly ahead of Murakami. 0-2. During the exhibitions, Murakami was bumped down the lineup. That's not something he loved. He was vocal about that.
Exhibition, Murakami.
I want to bat higher in this order. I want to be, more productive for this team. In the 6th spot the other day.
Well, one thing to remember is this is not your regular season team. So there's adjustments on each side, every player.
Wang Wei gets Murakami to wave at strike 3. First strikeout registered for Team China tonight.
That is an outstanding pitch. Totally off balance.
Woo.
Get him to chase. That's the difference when you have a decent fastball. You show it, you prepare the hitter. And you got him thinking in the wrong direction. Had him thinking inside, inner hand. 20-year-old follows the 19-year-old.
Yeah. Let the kids play, isn't that the thing? Okay.
That's great.
Masataka Yoshida.
But this 20-year-old is able to get into counts with his breaking ball too, which is remarkable.
Yoshida. Little soft liner. Play made at second by Ruo Jinjun. It's 2 down.
You know, one aspect and that hasn't been mentioned enough, I think, in conversation, Stephen, about Shohei and how he became this two-way player that's dominant on both sides. Joel Madden, Perry Manassian, okay, and allowing him just taking the restrictions off, because Shohei's always wanted to do it.
Play, have fun.
But there was a plan to preserve him on when he was going to play. When was Zach going to play on the offensive side? After pitching during, day before pitching, day that he pitched, day after, offense was off. Then Joe Madden comes in, Perry Manassas, general manager, and they said, the shackles are off, my friend, you just play. And Joe Madden said, I am not going to get in the way of greatness. Look what happened in
Unleashed.
Yes.
Yep. American League MVP in 2021. A lot of fans, most of them centered in and around Southern California, would argue should have been back-to-back. Phil Nevin is current manager with the Halos. He said in an interview, Shohei wasn't too happy about that, not winning MVP. Of course, no disrespect to Judge, just proud of his campaign. In many ways, he was better than 2021.
Great.
But safe to say he'll be in those conversations a time or two again. 3 balls, no strikes on Kazuma Okamoto. Flew out to end the first inning, his first AB. That's a 2-out walk.
The next batter, second baseman, Shohei.
A 2022 NPB All-Star, Shugo Maki, second baseman. He's a runner-up for the Central League Rookie of the Year award in 2021. He's 24 years of age. He takes a strike. But very quickly, despite his youth and relative inexperience, he is establishing himself as one of the best hitters, one of the best all-around hitters in NPB.
Known for his bats. You know, occasionally he'll pick up a first base glove and plays on first base.
There's the bat, but it hooks foul.
Well, that is lightning fast.
Yeah, it
that
is.
bat got through the zone like a whip. Look at this, real quick. He knew it.
Yeah.
It's a foul ball dictated by lack of velocity on the pitch. A little more velocity is a fair ball. Home run.
For the exit Velo fans out there, that was 107 off the bat. Long strike 2 in the dirt, ball 1.
Nice block behind the plate. Ming Lee does a very fine job. You see him communicating, not afraid to visit the mound. Athletic. Nice form. Gets a great view of the runner immediately.
Staying ready so we don't have to get ready.
Hey, look at his build. Hey, you're not thinking catcher, right? Thinking middle infielder, right?
I was thinking
Yeah.
that. So you read my mind. The 1-2 pitch to Maki. Ooh. Wang Wei thought that was an ending strikeout. Instead, it's a 2-2 count. Two pitch, slice foul.
It's one thing. You see somebody pull a ball like that, foul deep like this, right? Immediately, a good hitter will tell you, my next concern is not if I can do it again on the pull side. It's protecting middle out. You go back and think like a pitcher and how you be approached. Which is, you hit a ball like that far on the pull side, more than likely 8 out of 10 pitches are coming in the outside half with breaking balls.
Ball's down. Back-to-back free passes with 2 out.
The next batter, shortstop, Sosuke Genda.
Shohei Genda, grounder right back to Wang Wei. And that will conclude the third inning. Team China hanging in tough. Welcome back to the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Watching Pool B at the famed Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. Modeled after the Metrodome in Minnesota, first dome stadium in Japan, and it's hosted many great baseball games, many great sporting events, including one back in February of 1990. Big fight, Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. And here tonight we have Team Japan and Team China in pool play action. And in talking to Tarek Brock pregame, Team China is well aware of that history. Sometimes upsets happen. One of the biggest in sporting history, Douglas beating Tyson, happened here. If we're going to do something similar against Japan tonight and Shohei Ohtani, we got to come out swinging. We got to be aggressive and take chances. A little nubber just in front of home plate. It was the first out of the fourth inning.
In the meantime, Shohei back on the mound. Came into this inning with 34 pitches in the first 3 innings. And truly, there's been more contact by China. Not hard contact, but they put the ball in play more times than I actually anticipated seeing it here tonight.
Dean Trainer. And keeping things positive for Team China. Yang Jin, shortstop, grounded out his first time up. That was the first pitch back.
That was 99, well located right under the knuckles. And one of the very few four-seamers we've seen from Shohei Ohtani tonight.
There is action in the Japanese bullpen. The 0-1 pitch, 100 miles per hour by you. And Yang Jin in a hole. Young, one of those players I mentioned earlier, a lot of the roster plays in the CBL. For the Shanghai Eagles. He did not. Says Delphine Colon at third base. Slick fielder. Here up there for Team China. Primarily a shortstop. Can play all over the infield. Some corner outfield as well. Just missed. Going the other way, finds the fairway in left field, cut off by Yoshida. And that'll spoil the perfect party for Shohei Ohtani.
There's a moment Yang Jin will never, ever forget. Made contact first time up with a ground out. That was solid. That is not a given. Keep that baseball.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a beautiful piece of hitting.
I mean, by the way, you're not exaggerating, we say.
That's great.
He will never forget that moment.
No.
Really cool for Yang Jin and Team China. One out base runner, so the tying run on base just went out in the top of the fourth inning.
If you look at the scoreboard, and the scorecard, I should say more, with 8 walks through 3 innings, you'd expect this game to be 5-6-0, but it has not been the case.
Just 2 hits. Masago has to get out of the way of that. He, fun guy to be around. We spent a couple minutes with him pregame.
Boy, it seems like he sets that tone in that clubhouse, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
You see the rapport also that Dean Trainer has with these guys, and the confidence. Come into the office and ask me anything, including where am I hitting today?
Both back in there for a strike. So he mentioned earlier his mother, half Chinese, half Japanese, was born in China. And Yusuke said he was surprised to get an offer to play for Team China. He doesn't speak any Chinese. But said, quote, I felt like taking on a big challenge. He took a big swing there and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So think about separation today. 100 miles an hour to 83 miles an hour. And working on a few things, like I know Shohei is very compartmentalized when it comes down to staying on the plan. Steven, where's the splitter? Not part of the plan tonight. He's getting a feel for the ball coming out of his hand with his cutter and his slider.
Tipped into the glove, another strikeout. It's number 4 for Shohei Ohtani. So, mentioned this topic earlier. Big part of the World Baseball Classic is taking care of the pitchers' rest restrictions.
50+ pitches thrown is 4 days mandatory. 30+ pitches thrown 1 day. And obviously, if you pitch on 2 consecutive days, that means that you're kept under 30 the first time, obviously. And you must have a 1-day rest in between after 2 consecutive appearances. Tell you what, Steven, I've seen it work magically for some managers as the tournament progresses. And you have a hot reliever, throw strikes, is dominant. Strategically, they will keep him just under 30 pitches to say, I need you tomorrow.
For Shohei at this point, I mean, and this was the thought going into the tournament to begin with, but then he'd be set for the quarterfinals. That's fouled straight back.
Yes, and you know that also, as we know, there's a lot of protection for these pitchers for that reason. As big league pitchers get ready, well, this is all part of it. In spring training, you will be gradually moving into 30 to 45 to 60 to 75, eventually to 90 to 95 pitches. So just got to make sure you respect that and know that you're also taking care of the organizations in those arms.
0-2 pitch to Chen. Called strike 3. 5th of the night for Shohei Ohtani. And it brings an end to the 4th inning. Bottom half after this. We welcome you back to Team Japan and Team China. And this was a massive play in the 1st inning. Bases loaded. Team Japan double play. Team China defense ending the threat. Got out of it. Another bases loaded jam in the 2nd inning as well. The 3rd, it looked like Japan was rallying for more.
When you think about it,
do anything.
On paper, it looks like a mismatch, right? Shohei Ohtani against the 19-year-old, but look what's happened here. Even though Japan has reached in 10 of 17 batters, it's come down to making the right pitch and making the right play. Well, Team China has gotten the job done.
It's a strike. The catcher, Takuya. With the many walks so far tonight for this Japanese lineup. Now a ground ball to Chen at 3rd base. And he's out.
They just continue to make plays. Chen charging. Great job getting his feet set. And with that, obviously, you get all your momentum going in one direction. You clear the path, line up your shoulders, and get the out.
bounced in. 1 ball, 1 strike. So one thing that made huge waves during the exhibitions for Samurai Japan was the celebration that Lars Nootbaar brought with him from St. Louis. Now, Cardinal fans are well aware what it means to grind the pepper. All right, that's something that took St. Louis by storm a season ago. Ground ball right side. Oh, bobbled at first base. Did they recover in time? Nope.
It's just part of the youth. Inexperience and trying to rush. And as you always are told, start with a baseball.
Back to the pepper grinder. A celebration that his new Japanese teammates have hopped on board with, and now it's a national sensation. You have kids and fans of all ages grinding the pepper, all thanks to Lars Nootbaar.
You notice how popular it got right after some guy at home plate hit a couple of home runs, right?
Yeah.
It took off. Shohei running around the bases grinding the pepper. It's like, wait, what is that?
He's doing it. I got to know what it is, why he's doing it, and then I'm going to do it.
Let's just say there were a lot of searches on the internet that day as to what it meant.
Nootbaar on first base. Strike 1, Kondo. Inside. Level things up on the count. "99 games in 2022 for the Fighters. Kondo. 8 home runs, 41 ribbies at .302. Walked 66 times. That next to 45 strikeouts.
There's a hitting machine. Great play discipline, coverage. Adjusts well. You know, he's one of those guys that the power pitcher, the finesse pitcher, he'll go out there and have a different approach. He's been around the league a long time, 11 years, and former teammate of Shohei Ohtani in Hokkaido.
Crouches down, pops back up, ready for the 1-1 pitch. Pulled foul. Pitch ripped into right field for a base hit. Nootbaar hustling into third base. Going first to third. Pepper grinder brought out by Kondo.
Just a majestic type hitter. Quickness, ability to react out and in, and look how far in this ball is, and he's still able to get the barrel out there.
There it is. And there he is, Shohei Ohtani. Walked in the first, grounded out in the second.
One thing about Shohei, and he does not use the heaviest bat, does not use the biggest bat. Pretty much all detail and customized to his arm length. Look how much higher his hands are now.
Watches ball one. Everything optimized. And we talked about his schedule earlier. His equipment, it's just everything is set for him to perform the highest level at both ends of this game. 4 shutout innings on the mound tonight. Shot to left center field. Shohei Ohtani off the wall. Nupar scores. Kondo rounds third and heads home. Welcome home, Shohei Ohtani.
Just not much more to add with what he does on an everyday basis. The threat that he is with the bat, spoiling and just hammering good pitches like that one. You're on the mound, he said, I just got that pitch exactly where I wanted. Look at the catcher's reaction, and look how far that ball went to the opposite field. His ability to backspin, yeah, and pepper grind now, obviously. It's absolutely amazing.
382 feet. On the RBI double for Ohtani, it's now a 3-0 game.
I mean, you think you have him set up. You think you have him thinking inner lane. You go down and away. And he still barrels you. Here it is. I got him set up for this pitch.
Right. I mean, and you see his advertisement on the video screen just toward his face.
He just missed a home run on a good pitcher's pitch.
Dean Traynor will make a change on the mound. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, his team now down 3. After the extra base knock from Ohtani Senchu, a 3-0 lead for he and Team Japan against China. New pitcher for Team China coming into the game, Sun Hailong, hailing from Shanghai. He pitches for the Golden Eagles there in the CBL. Just turned 19 years old a few days ago on the 4th of the month. So we've seen 19-year-old starter Wang Xiang, Wang Wei coming out of the bullpen, 20. And now Sun Hailong, 19, gets a sword from Munetaka Murakami.
And so far the youngsters truly under the whole circumstances and scenario, they've held their own. Not throwing strikes has been an issue, but they've been able to minimize the damage. One thing to never be taken for granted, Stephen. Shohei, the base runner, he always checks where the outfielders are. He communicates information to the third base coach. He knows the arms and has a habit of going back to the base and checking between every single pitch, see if somebody's moved depending on the count.
Pulled foul by Murakami.
And I first noticed that the first spring training in 2018. And they're running the bases. As you know, running the bases is not a premium anymore in batting practice, right?
No.
Well, he made sure that he was running the bases in his BP rounds just because he did it here.
Again, those little habits that help hone greatness.
Yes.
You know, the latest young big leaguer I've heard that about, you know, adding base running during BP, Julio Rodriguez in Seattle.
It's a big part of the game that we take for granted many times.
Ground ball to second base. Recovering quickly is Ryo Jin-jun. Advancing to third on the play is Ohtani.
5番レフト吉田
Next batter.
Anytime you talk to
Masataka
third base
Yoshida.
coaches, and the first time I heard this was with Ryan Sandberg as a Cub, saying, third base coach says, he just becomes my coach on the bases because I don't have to worry about him. Secondary leads, balls in the dirt, how far backstop is. He knows all those things.
Oh, heads out. Yoshida appears to be okay. Leaning, checking on him as the catcher. He'll take first base. Oof. Gosh, we just saw that watching spring training, unfortunately, with Justin Turner, his new teammate with the Boston Red Sox, and sending our best to JT. Thankfully here, Yoshida was able to
The next batter, first baseman Kazuma
avoid serious injury,
Okamoto.
and now it's again first and third. Home runs for Okamoto this past year. And here he is in his home yard.
You talk about home yard. If this is the environment tonight, what's going to be like tomorrow? Tomorrow night.
That's an excellent point, Jose. He's given the fact that Korea dropped the opener to Australia. Game 2 for the Koreans against Japan becomes a must-win. And so that is why Kang Jo-lee has adjusted his pitching plans and now will throw his ace, Kwang Hoon Kim, and really the St. Louis Cardinals against Japan in game 2, knowing that they have to win to have any hope getting back to the second round. And that's on the heels of disappointment in 2013, disappointment in 2017, that has so much pressure on Team Korea heading into this year's installment. And so yeah, this to answer your question finally, tomorrow's going to be nutty.
Here's our introduction, which is amazing.
I mean, it was going to be the case regardless of the result earlier between Korea and Australia, and this result here. I mean, Japan and Korea, the rivalry between those two countries throughout history, well documented. 3-1 pitch coming to Okamoto. This is outside, ball 4. Loads him up for Maki.
Bases loaded frequently here tonight.
It's the 4th inning, a third time that Japan has loaded the bases.
セカンド牧
Next batter, second baseman Shugo Maki.
15 of 24 batters have reached safely tonight for Japan. That includes the error and allowed Newtbar to come aboard here in this inning.
Could be some big damage right here with one swing.
Maki drove in 87 in 2022 for the Bay Stars. It's a ground ball to short. The flip to second. Nice play to end the inning. Young Jin getting the ball over to Luo Jin-jun. Shohei Ohtani got the ball to the left field wall to make it 3-0 Japan. We wrap up the fourth inning in the Tokyo Dome.
Let's take a look at our beautiful profiles on China. Approximately 1.4 billion people, largest population in the world. Great Wall of China, largest man-made structure in the world. Amazing.
Space.
Beautiful. And the Forbidden City. It's about being the largest, right? Ancient palace in the world.
People do visit there, so it's not totally.
And not to be forgotten is the fact that Major League Baseball has invested heavily in China.
New pitcher for Japan, Shosei Togo. And the ball goes from Shohei to Shosei. Right-hander for the Yomiuri Giants. Just 22 years old. Quickly ahead, 0-2 against Ray Chang.
And for this particular tournament, he could be a great piece. He's a long reliever out of that bullpen. A young ace.
3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Right over the top. Delivery, deception, great follow through, and oh, he turns the ball over. Great job pronating those arms, those fingers, that wrist.
Another swing and a miss. Chao Jie. Was the 3rd strikeout for Shohei Ohtani in the 2nd inning. End of the frame. 0-2. Togo pouring it in. That's 3. Strikeout number 2.
That'll work. That'll work. The way you turn the ball over, and on top of that, have this. Got some life getting to the zone right there.
The next batter, left fielder, Ko Yoka.
And a left fielder, Ko Young-kang, trying to avoid the fate. Behind 0-1. You look at the strikeout leaders in MPB the last season. You have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Kodai Senga.
Looking forward to seeing those guys.
And Shosei Togo.
Say it. What's happening?
Oh. 8 pitches, 8 strikes. Pitch from Togo. See, that's what happens. You bullied me into saying it.
What did you say? You didn't say anything.
I alluded to 8
In your
pitches, 8
mind,
strikes.
maybe you did, but by the way, what we do here has nothing to do with that. What happens down there.
I'm just playing with
I know.
you. 1-2 from Togo. Nearly immaculate. 3 strikeouts for the righty in the 5th inning.
Nearly, Nelly.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic, Inc. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Boom. 2 for 2 on the copyright.
How did you know that that was my favorite reading spot here now in Japan, in Tokyo?
Well, that's saucy.
Watch the koi.
Wonderful photos. I wonder who took those.
Exceptional.
In focus, colors popping. 3-0 ball game, bottom of the 5th inning. A Pool B opener for Japan and China. Shohei Ohtani started the game. Went 4 shutout innings, didn't walk a batter, gave up just 1 hit, struck out 5. He also started the game as the designated hitter. He's 1 for 2. With 2 RBI double.
For Shohei Ohtani, a very high fastball average.
Yeah, saw triple digits a couple times. That 4-seam velo was a tick above where it was all last season in Major League Baseball. Two pitch fouled away by Genda.
No doubt it was a different show to call with Shohei on the mound. Truly different.
Spoiled again. Sun Hailong with the 3-2 pitch. Rings up Genda. Who knew it?
Sun Hailong right over the top, set him up. Looking for something a little bit faster. Those hands start going forward. No chance. No chance to pull that trigger.
In the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes on Takuya Kai. Hideki Kuriyama seeing his team out to a 3-run lead here in the 5th. Had chances for that lead to be much, much bigger. If you recall, looking back to the last World Baseball Classic in 2017, the opening game for Japan, was just a 2-1 lead against Cuba. And then the Japanese lineup erupted for a 5 spot in the 5th inning, eventually won 11-6.
Well, you're talking about a little bit of a sluggish start back then. And even here, with all the walks they received in the first 3 innings, it's going only 1 time.
Strike 2, full count.
It's just the beautiful thing about baseball and what happens between the white lines. So we can have it all set on paper, what we think is going to happen, the way it should go, and before you know it, Father Baseball teaches us another lesson.
You know, just looking at the work for China's pitching staff tonight, limiting the damage, getting out of some jams. They're doing it without a ton of velo. The fastest pitch they've thrown tonight, 88.1 miles per hour.
It's worked. A 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, 19-year-old.
Ball 4. So, quick turnaround for this team as well. Czech Republic at 12 p.m. local, the World Baseball Classic debut for the Czechs. Such a fun team to be around, an incredible story, and we look forward to watching them tomorrow afternoon. And then at night, 7 p.m. local, Japan and Korea. Let's go.
Well, the Czechs, as you mentioned, contagious energy being around them last night, and they worked out. And, you know, the last initial game in the qualifier against Spain, they got pummeled. And, you know, the common feeling was,
We have 20-something runs.
That's not going to destroy us.
Nukbar with a shot up the middle. A couple bounces to second for 1. The throw to first. Got him for 2. So Team China, they said, we got to play clean. We got to play defense. They have done that consistently tonight. Spoils the 5th inning for Japan. It's a 3-0 game. Shohei Togo, his first inning of work, mentioned nearly immaculate.
Throwing darts.
10 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 punches.
And Steven, a very good pace on the mound, by the way.
Oh,
After
yeah.
that, he sees that sign, he just fires away.
Back out there for the 6th inning. Bottom of Team China's order. Luo Jinjun, Li Ning, 8 and 9, and then back to the leadoff spot. Liang Pei. Makes me miss my boy a little bit, to be honest.
Not bad.
1-1.
You know, in our experience here today, you think about how many families we've seen here together, all the gear we see that has been bought and being bought, and the lines.
Yeah.
Not just to get in the stadium,
For merchandise.
to buy merchandise.
The 1-2 coming from Togo. That's tap foul. I mean, talking to some locals the last few days in the lead up to this event really kicking off here at the Tokyo Dome, they said with the exhibitions, you know, basically everything was sold out here. So people were having to travel hours just to get memorabilia, jerseys, hats, whatever they could get their hands on. There's another strikeout, 4 in a row for Togo.
Togo is not messing around, man.
No.
Strike 1, dart away number 2, and I'm going to put you away somehow. But just tonight, for so many families in Japan, in Tokyo, around the world, just to witness this, and then getting out of here, and the conversations for how long will this go, Steven? We saw Shohei Ohtani play in Tokyo as the Nitoriyo that he is, a two-way star now.
Fly ball to left field. That's going to be out number 2.
And things that you and I can go back to our own families and our parents and our trip to see a star player. Even though I grew up in the game, obviously I never took for granted those moments when my dad said, hey, Mets are coming in. Keep your eye on
Right fielder.
this one player.
Liang Pei.
A Rusty Staub, for example. Obviously a Willie Mays and so forth. And glad to have learned that early in my life about, you know, the valuable moments they just treasure forever. And you can receive so many gifts throughout your life, but then there's those moments where you go, that was a bigger gift for me. Just having the family there. And for them tonight is Shohei Ohtani returns. World Baseball Classic. And he is in true form.
Oh, yeah. again, you throw around the word hype or the word expectation, whatever you think it is from your seat. I mean, just turn it up a couple of notches, because that's what it really was going into this. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Young Pei.
And for us, we saw the transition in the ballpark from broadcasting the first game.
Oh yeah,
exciting game. Australia's big win. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. Whole stadium turns around as a totally different vibe. How fortunate are we to be witnessing it, living it, and calling it.
That ball hit hard. That ball hit deep. And that ball is hit out. Young Pei with a solo home run, and Team China is on the board and within 2 here in the 6th inning.
Well, clearly that shocked some people, that swing, the quickness on a Togo that has struck out the first 4 batters and was just dealing, carving out some hitters. What a moment. What a moment for Liang Pei.
Yeah. And I have to say again, it's a 2-run game.
That's a quick bat. That is a quick bat. Got those elbows tucked in there to allow those hands to be clear.
You can hear it. 375 feet.
What a moment.
In the World Baseball Classic.
What a special moment. I can only imagine what Dean Traynor feels. His manager, mentor, teacher, father figure.
And that's Alan Carter giving him some love. Alan,
there's Papa.
Yeah, from Georgia in the Angels organization, just out of the frame and talking with Liang Pei.
Yeah, keep your eye on that kid. As you mentioned, Alan Carter. Talk about a presence.
2-2 pitch. He did not hold up. Another strikeout for Togo. He now has 5 in 2 innings of work. But for Team China, Liang Pei gets him on the board. Shohei Ohtani is due up for Japan. That's on the way.
Again, our beautiful profiles. Japan, 125 million in population. Near that, 11th highest in the world. Made up of 6,852 islands. Highest point is Mount Fuji. And fourth highest life expectancy in the world. How about that?
Great shot. Miyajima,
85 years old.
Itsukushima. And now we're here back at the Tokyo Dome. Pool B at the World Baseball Classic in 2023. Japan 3, China 1. Means China's national team has already matched the run output for the entire 2017 World Baseball Classic, in which they were outscored 24-1.
Here's a fact for you. Coming into this World Baseball Classic, highest run differential, Japan, plus 113. Worst run differential, China, minus 84.
Game ain't playing on paper.
Absolutely right.
There's a strikeout of Kondo. That's not easy to do.
The next batter, designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
A reminder of China's history in this event. 2-10 overall. Winless last time out, scoring just that 1 run. This night has belonged to Shohei Ohtani. Threw 100 miles per hour, hit a ball 110.
Shohei being Shohei.
Yeah.
What new?
With an entire nation on his back. 2-0 pitch to him. Big swing and a miss. Also, perhaps the most memeable superstar in sports. I don't know. They got him 3 balls and a strike.
You know, as I see that pitch, 2020 was a very tough season for Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, the arm was not all recovered, but the more pitches he saw inside, Steven, the more he was getting jumping out of the way, and it cost him.
Watch ball 4 there.
So what he did is, I mean, we're saying and Joe Maddie even said this, it seems like he was hitting on skates, okay? Anything near his body after his Tommy John surgery will make him flinch. Of course, you're in the big leagues. Word gets around very quickly, right? So in the offseason after 2020, he went ahead and hired a pitcher to work out in the offseason, just make sure his feet were anchored in the box. And then came 2021.
Pretty good year. Yep.
Over.
Yeah.
But the difference was his feet were set. He was not running away from the batter's box or flinching.
So again, creating habits.
And his mind was, hey, I created the old habits. I got to get out of that. You know, if I see a pitch inside, even in the big leagues right now, think about the major leagues, how many times you see a guy in the mound that's repeatedly pounding in? It just doesn't happen anymore.
Ground ball from Murakami, foul.
Thus, he convinced himself, okay, if I see a pitch inside, it could be a show me pitch. He might jam me and break my bat, but I have to keep my feet in there because it's causing me to not cover the outer half properly and miss out on pitches like tonight. I recall that, you know, at one point, Shohei got benched in 2020. And one of the most upset guys when that happened, Albert Pujols.
Tio Albert
Came to his defense that guy, no matter if he's scuffling, he's still developing as a big league hitter. He needs to play.
Ohtani with the lead off first base. Pitch skips to the backstop. Ohtani will skip over to second base. Maybe third? No. It's going to go back.
If it's up to him. If it's up to him, he'll have 50 stolen base attempts.
At bigger bases in the major leagues this year. First player in MLB history with 10+ wins as a pitcher, 30+ home runs as a batter in the same season. I mean, honestly, I could just throw any collection of numbers and stats at you at this point with Shohei to be like, yeah, sure, got it. Doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, I believe it.
Hey, and the only near comparison was obviously Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth never did at this level.
Yeah.
Never.
Left fielder.
What Shohei has done.
Dean Traynor coming out of the dugout for Team China. First and second, one out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Signal back to his bullpen where action was happening. He's trying to keep his team in this thing, down just by 2. Making a pitching change. Welcome back to this 3-1 ball game. Left-hander coming out of the Chinese bullpen, Su Tianlong. just a little comparison that tells a big part of this game's story to this point. 10 runners left on base. The Japanese lineup's 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
レフト吉田
And so that is why, despite having walked
Masataka Yoshida.
a dozen times tonight, it's just a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 6th.
And here they are within reach.
So we've been talking about the youth movement for Dean Trainers Club for the first 3 pitchers, 19, 20, and 19. Now we're going to the seasoned veteran in Sung Long at 41 years of age.
There's quite the spread.
67 miles per hour to start things off against Yoshida.
Not going to fool you. Watch him warm up. Wants his catcher to really give him a target, even exaggerate a target as to which lane he's going to throw to. 'Cause there's not a whole lot of margin for error here without the velocity.
Strike 1.
That's a fastball to run right back over the plate. Mid the outer half.
Yoshida helped the Oryx Buffaloes to the Japan Series title, the first of the franchise since 1996, back when Ichiro wore the uniform. And the 1-1 pitch, little bouncer to the right side, into the glove, goes to short for the first, or second out rather.
A very nice play, risky play, but in that case, as you charge and you're aggressive to get the short hop, make sure there's a clear throwing lane. Watch how shallow he's playing, though. That allows him to at least have an idea as to where the base runner is and where he can throw that baseball.
And keeps.
There's that lane. Clearly open. Great job with the shortstop. Also gave him a nice target on the backside of the bag.
And keeps with what we've seen tonight for the Chinese defense, particularly up the middle with Luo Jinjun and Yang Jin. It's clean fielding and smart there, keeping a runner out of scoring position.
And as you mentioned, playing the clean game is part of the plan. Go out there, have fun. Don't be intimidated, but also play a clean game.
There's so much for this group to be proud of. Still a long way to go. Ohtani on third base, having reached 3 times tonight. Pair of walks and 2-run double.
There's some big time power right here in the batter's box.
First strike to Okamoto. We'd love to give the Yomiuri Giant fans in attendance something to cheer about here. Ooh. Pitch just off the plate. Pitch, ground ball to third base. Chen Chen with a long throw, and he makes it. More runners left on base for Japan. We're done with 6. China and Japan, don't act like you're not surprised. This is, and that's down the line and fair. Leadoff extra base hit for Yusuke Masago.
They keep scratching, Steven. I mean, they are not going away easily. Totally in this ballgame, which was not expected by many, especially here at the seventh inning.
I was talking directly to the viewers. I think a lot of folks were expecting, well, you know, they do have the mercy rules in play, or the early termination rules, I should say. Japan and China, that message was not delivered to the Team China clubhouse, because the tying run is at the plate in the top of the seventh inning.
That's one part of the rule that the Dean trainer said, guys, let me just cross that out. It doesn't apply to you.
Third baseman Chen Chen searching for his first hit this World Baseball Classic. Big swing. That's strike one. You see the top of the order for Team China. I mean, Liang Pei, that solo home run, that's one for the books and the archives.
That's for sure.
And you think back to the first World Baseball Classic, the first home run in the history of the tournament was hit by a member now of the Chinese coaching staff in Wang Wei. And that came here in the Tokyo Dome off Koji Urehara.
Oh, Koji.
That's poked down the line in foul territory. Play is made by Genda, who ranged over. That was a really tough catch.
Kidding me? That's 5 straight Gold Gloves by Genda in the NPB, and we can see just a clear example as to why. Never took his eyes off the baseball. He knew exactly that he was in control. Priority over the shortstop. And one of the guys, as a third baseman, as an outfielder, you see this type of commitment, don't disrupt it.
And the quick peek.
Don't disrupt it. He knew exactly where he was.
So Masago stays on second base. Ray Chang takes ball one.
See what your good friend Ray Chang does here without Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Even though Togo didn't treat him very well first time up either.
Retired from playing minor league ball several years ago. Played for Team China in the 2017 World Baseball Classic. And that was supposed to be his swan song. And here he is back at it for more. Could not pass up this opportunity, and he's here as a player coach. And he's now in his 6th year with MLB China as baseball operations manager, and having to deal with, you know, COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on their mission. Behind 1 and 2. He's talked about how because of the contraction of the minor leagues and that plus COVID, have been kind of forced to look in a different direction, trying to build a pathway for their players in MLB China to continue chasing their baseball dreams in the States. Spin on it, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It is so important that a player, as he's developing, is allowed to fail. Okay, you're going to fail in the game most times. Okay, I can see working out, developing, but there's nothing like playing the game and learning within your experiences. That's how you grow, and that's why the growth on some of these players has been halted a little bit.
And so they've been focusing on trying to get some players into colleges in the United States. 9 players attending college baseball scholarship, a couple more heading there in the fall. So again, the work that's being done by Ray Chang and his teammates, massively important for the development and the growth of the game.
You know, Major League Baseball, Stephen, has not hidden anything about how committed they are to this. Go back to the Dodgers in the mid 80s. Mr. O'Malley investing in opening a Dodger Stadium in China.
Three-two pitch. Chang works a walk.
That's a very solid plate appearance right there by the veteran. You take that at bat, as you talk about development. That's one at bat that he can go out there and just break down with some of the young players.
The next batter, first baseman.
After the tournament, tonight, tomorrow. If you want to pick his brain as to what he was thinking there after falling behind.
Now the tying run on base for Team China. Cao Jie peeks at Chang on first base. Sees the opportunity in front of him here. Takes strike one. '40th pitch on the way from Togo. Another swinging strike. Cao was China's third baseman in 2019 at the Asian Baseball Championship. Drove in a run in the upset victory over South Korea in the bronze medal game. Kept the Koreans off the podium. Well, that missed the zone.
Solid
Yeah.
way of tracking that pitch all the way down into the zone and out of the zone by the batter.
Pair of base runners here for Team China in the 7th. Matches the total number of base runners they had the first 6 frames. Trying to accomplish something miraculous. Ground ball foul. And without sounding too mawkish in a way, this is what we've seen. It is miraculous.
There's no doubt. They battled and battled and kept putting the ball in play against Shohei Ohtani. They just did not waste at bats. It's not the most solid contact, but they just do not waste at bats.
Good snare by Kai. That one bounced in the dirt.
Which is easy to do, Stephen, when you look at the experience and the all-stars and the accolades on the other side and Team, Samurai Japan, and saying, well, I'm just going to go out there and just either not embarrass myself, but these guys come in here with an idea of just playing the game regardless of what happens or what it says in front of the other uniform.
On the 2-2 pitch, pulled foul.
And at some point, at bats like this, makes it a little frustrating for the guys on the mound.
Making Togo work more and harder as his appearance has gone on. Another 2-2 pitch. Another
There you go again. Now, there's a Togo that started his outing,
Yeah.
you know, as a reliever in the 5th inning after Shohei Ohtani striking out 3 guys in a row in 10 pitches.
And then he struck out the 4th in a row to start the 6th.
They just never bought into it.
Two and two. Let's do it again.
As he said.
Let's do it again.
ご注意ください。
Please watch out for foul balls.
There's not a part of that barrel that has not been used, by the way. You see all the marks? So there's not a part of the strike zone that he's not been able to get to.
Here comes the 9th pitch of the AB. Inside 3-2. Ito and Uragawa, pair of righties warming. Kuriyama-san hoping Togo can get out of this 7th inning. Is this the payoff pitch? It is, and it's strike 3 for Togo. But one heck of a battle from Cao Jie.
And the fans appreciate that, seeing the tremendous battle and the grinding at bat that he put through. Finally beat him with an outstanding pitch. Look at that dive vertically.
Masato Yoshi, pitching coach. Very brief visit, and ultimately going to leave Togo in there.
7番レフトコウ・ヨンカン。
The next batter, left fielder, Ko Yokan.
As a starting pitcher, you have to continue to give him the longer leash. He's got the stuff to become here his own best reliever. So no need to waste another arm.
Ko Young-kang 0 for 2 tonight as he attacked the first pitch from Togo, but he missed on it. Young Pei, the biggest swing of the night for Team China thus far, that solo blast in the 6th. Figure to see him in the top of the 8th inning. .92 miles per hour for strike 2.
There's a lot of late life up in that plane. Goes great to the eyes.
'51st pitch from Togo. Misses in the dirt. So now hitting the 50 pitch mark, or eclipsing it rather, he will need 4 days of rest.
Starting pitcher. Ride him. Ride him. I'm talking starting pitcher, and obviously in the regular season.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7 strikeouts in 3 innings of work for Shohei Togo. Stranding a pair, keeping the game 3-1. Behold the busiest intersection in the world, Shibuya Crossing, and also behold the 2023 World Baseball Classic. All 4 pools on the screen in front of you. The top 2 teams in each will advance to the quarterfinals. You have pools A and B will clash in Tokyo. C and D will meet in Miami.
How about Team Netherlands with Bam Bam Hensley Mullins
Oh yeah,
in command, already 2-0.
one of the best.
Hensley.
And you know what?
Mullins.
Talking to Xander Bogaerts in Peoria at Padres spring training before he left to join the Team Netherlands for the World Baseball Classic. I was like, hey, they got really good history at this event. Some really good runs. Like, ready for another one? And he was kind of hesitant, like as if this was going to be a rebuilding year or a bridge year for his home country. Well, 2 games, 2 wins.
Now 2-0. Andrew Jones, big part of that staff.
Ozzy Albies not playing in this either.
Not bad.
So a pleasant surprise for Xander Bogaerts and company.
How many quality shortstops could they have there? Huh?
A dozen, it seems like. Another pleasant surprise here in Tokyo at the World Baseball Classic. This performance, this fight that Team China is putting up against the heavy favorites in the host nation, Japan.
No matter how you look at it, it just doesn't make sense. 12 walks.
But we mentioned this off the hop in our intro. Being around them before the game, there was a really good energy from both the coaching staff and the players. Really loose. They had nothing to lose in this one, right? Zero expectation to contend with. They're facing baseball's unicorn in Shohei Ohtani on the mound and as a designated hitter. It's just about taking the next step as a country, as a team. There's a fly ball to right field. That's deep, and that's gone! Shugo Maki putting that power on display that Jose Moto was talking about earlier. And he makes it 4-1.
Gotta love this place, my goodness. Huh? How much fun are these guys having? Power the other way. Flick of the wrists. Get some great backspin on a line out of here over that high wall in right center field.
First pitch swinging for Genda. Grounds out to second. But that's the way to start the bottom of the 7th.
Take a look at this approach. Land early. Open up a little bit. Those hips are flying open just enough, but look at his back foot where he is and why he has coverage the other way. Tagged it.
Yep. Boom.
Something that we're not accustomed to is in the United States. It's a soft house method here in this ballpark. And throughout Japan and in many Asian countries, is the soft house method in batting practice is not just a short netting you're hitting into.
Yeah.
I mean, they're launching against a real big net behind home plate, working on things like that.
Maki, just 24 years old, already an extra base machine for the Bay Stars in Yokohama. Sitting next to the legend, Ippei Mizuhara.
Oh, Ippei makes it happen.
Yes, he does.
Ippei makes it happen.
There's a strikeout for Su Shanglong.
So, Steven, there's the Ippei. Can you translate? Yes. Ippei, can you catch batting practice? Yes. Ippei, can you be a catcher during the home run derby? Yes. So here's what I'm talking about. I think it's great. Hitter gets a different perspective. Watch it fly to the ball. You can see staying inside the ball and getting the spin that you want.
Tsang behind Lars Nootbaar. 2 balls, no strikes. Oh, a Cardinal fan in the house.
One of the favorite jersey colors, too.
Yeah. A lot of Angels jerseys. That doesn't surprise you. Padres sprinkled in for the presumed Game 2 starter against Korea, and Yu Darvish. And the Redbirds represented for Nootbaar. 3-0.
USC Trojans represented in Nootbaar. El Segundo represented
That's
in Nootbaar.
Right.
And a proud mama, too.
Hop of pride, man. He's taken all the way. 3 balls and a strike now. Doesn't speak Japanese. Has been trying to learn more as his experience with the national team has gone along here. Hard hit ground ball to first base. Chow Jie trying to flip to first. Nootbaar beats it out. Bobbled briefly, recovered quickly, but with Nootbaar booking it down the line, he beats out the 2-out hit.
Cardinals fans know this guy plays at 1 speed. Right after he bobbles a baseball, pitcher is late getting there, and that's really what's constantly here. Shen Long was just looking at the play, but there's no chance. 41-year-old against Nootbaar, 0 chance.
He reaches via E3 for the 2nd time tonight, Nootbaar, but hustle made it happen. And that ties back into the grinding the pepper, doing all the little things to work toward a win.
Wins games. Don't put your head down and give up just because you grounded out and you get the contact that you wanted.
Yeah, oldest players in the World Baseball Classic. Su Tsang-long behind Boomstick and Waino, Nelson Cruz and Adam Wainwright.
Nelson Cruz also serving as the Dominican general manager.
Hit a pinch hit homer today.
He and Robinson Cano hit home runs.
Yeah.
Go figure. An exhibition play.
Close pitch. Call the ball.
Well, before
Yeah,
getting here.
you see that sign, or it's talking about Nootbaar. It's in hiragana, so I'll translate. Tachan. That's for Nootbaar. Nootbaar taking off for second base. The throw down, not in time. But Li Ning was up quick with it.
He was. I just didn't think it was going to be that close. Considering that Nootbaar goes on first move, picks up ground quickly, but look at the quick release. Look at this.
And the throw. Sound play behind the plate.
Very
Creates
impressed.
a close play at second base.
Very impressed by Ning Lee.
So Nootbaar in scoring position. The 1-1 to Kondo. Loops in for a strike. Well, this is Kondo's first World Baseball Classic. No stranger to international events for his country. Gold medals at the Olympics and the WBSC Premier 12. Ball 2 down. (10 p.m. here in Tokyo, 8 a.m. those on the East Coast of the United States. And shouts to any West Coast baseball fans who stayed up or woke up for this one.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Chung Long. The second strikeout of the inning. But the inning began with this blast from Shugo Maki, extending Japan's lead to 3 after the 7th. After hitting a leadoff home run in the 7th inning, Shugo Maki is out of the game. In his stead at second base, Tatsuro Yamada. New pitcher as well for Japan, Atsuki Yuasa.
Setup specialist with an outstanding forkball. I mean, this thing absolutely dives and carves down into the ground.
Is it a relative of Kodai Senga's ghost fork?
We shall
Is it
see.
also a ghost?
Yeah, it's been
an actual ghost.
Written about and talked about a lot so far in spring training with the Mets.
Yeah.
Is it the famous gyro ball from Daisuke Matsusaka?
Yuasa quickly ahead 0-2. 96 misses. Wearing number 22 in this tournament, paying homage to Kyuji Fujikawa, who pitched 17 for the Hanshin Tigers. And that's Yuasa's team at NPB currently.
There it was. Nice block behind the plate. Forkball 88 miles an hour.
Mentioning his specialty as a reliever, 43 holds last season. Ended up finishing second in Central League Rookie of the Year voting. Falling behind now to 3 consecutive balls. That's 3. So a strikeout to begin his World Baseball Classic career.
Yeah, the 95 may not impress you as much. It does have a lot of carry and spin rate.
95. Remember,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It's like, okay, 95. You know, so many players and you go, well, everybody comes out of the bullpen throwing 97 now. It's like,
right.
We better learn how to hit 97. And obviously, there's velocity coming out of the hand, and there's velocity in front of the plate. And they're 2 different things.
One, 2 after the foul ball. Perceive velocity.
Yes, I mean,
the word extension talked about a lot.
Coming out of the hand is always hotter.
Invisibles, right? There's
Yep.
different ways that is talked about nowadays.
And nowadays you see a 101 that in front of the plate reads 92. It's still hard to hit. No matter what, it's hard to hit.
I don't know how anybody does it personally.
Go back to the days of Mike Breeder behind home plate at Dodger Stadium. And he flashing to Al Campanis upstairs. 91. It was like, wow, 91. 93.
Different time. 1-2 is fought off. The Chinese catcher.
But there's no doubt, Steven, hitting is becoming harder and harder. And that's why we see some of these rules implemented now in the major leagues and trying to just get more offense going. But also for that to happen is, there needs to be more contact. It's not just about changing things and aligning guys up and, favoring the offensive side of the game, but you need more contact in the game.
That tail's out of play.
打球の行方にご注意ください。
Back-to-back strikeouts for Yuasa.
You know what they call that in Spanish? No chance. No chance.
1番ライト
Disappearing right there.
The next batter, right fielder, Yan Pei.
And the depth and talent of this pitching staff is maybe the reason why Japan is looked at as one of, if not the favorite in this tournament.
All you hear about before getting here was Samurai Japan pitching. And did you happen to spot the Major League Scouts here today? Early?
There are a couple. Huh? Just one or two.
Just a few.
Yeah, Jung-Hoo Lee earlier for Korea as well. He's slated to be posted after the 2023 campaign in the KBO.
I mean,
I'm excited.
we talked about it in our open in regards to what the tournament has done for baseball internationally for stars to come in. But for scouting, it's made scouting much easier in grading hitters, pitchers against this type of competition.
ファウルボールにご注意ください。
The projections are not as hit or miss as they were years past. We just didn't see these players competing at this level, this type of tournament.
It's a massive opportunity from a showcase standpoint. 1-2. 3 strikeouts for Yuasa in the 8th inning. Shohei Ohtani will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Japan leading by 3. Have him to thank for that. 110-mile-per-hour double off the wall. That plated a pair. Grinding the pepper.
Just missed the home run on what was supposed to be, and it was a good pitcher's pitch. Just don't do that.
Ooh, good pitch. Ichen. The 5th pitcher tonight for Dean Traynor and Team China. What did you say earlier? Shohei being Shohei.
What new? Fans came here to see a show. They have witnessed a great show.
Two balls and 2 strikes. 5 seasons for the Fighters in NPB. The Pacific League Most Valuable Player in 2016. Ohtani ropes a single into right. He reaches for the 4th time tonight.
Absolutely adding more to all the stories being told tonight in the car ride home and the train ride home and the bus ride home. And
We got to see Shohei
perform.
at the Tokyo Dome.
Throw 100 miles an hour and hit a couple balls over 100 miles an hour.
107.9 off the bat.
Oh, and tomorrow, recovery as a pitcher. But the hitting continues.
Yep. Leadoff base hit in front of Murakami, who takes strike one. And for Ohtani, not only is he reuniting with his Samurai Japan uniform, wearing that for the first time in 6+ years, he's doing so with his former MPB manager in Hideki Kuriyama.
You're right. I recall Kuriyama-san making that visit to Tempe, Arizona in 2018 to go see his son.
Ooh. Big cut from Murakami.
And the fighters, in fact, had trained in Arizona before, so Shohei had trained in the Arizona area before signing with the Angels.
Yeah, that was fun to see you and Kuriyama-san reconnect about that memory yesterday during the workout. Ball 2 down.
And he had his nerves himself, but he also was a big part of just the history of Shohei Ohtani here in Japan. Kuriyama-san was a huge piece on, yes, saying, Shohei, we will allow you to be a two-way player.
Murakami tried to launch one out of the Tokyo Dome. And it's strike 3.
He doesn't look good today. He has not looked comfortable at all in some of the swing paths and some of the approach. I mean, that ball usually is not landing here in this area code.
Oh, we alluded to it earlier, just sort of trying to find it here these last couple weeks. They're trying to do different things to get him going for this tournament. He is surrounded by a ton of other great hitters.
And hopefully it's not the case where he's trying to just do too much. There's not much more he has to prove to anybody.
He said he wants to perform in this event for this team. Should heads up.
Where's your glove?
Went off a chair. Everybody's okay. Staff running around it.
Those
Check
are those
on the
seats.
The site seats.
You're provided a glove.
That was not only was it exciting,
There you
also,
go. There's a couple of gloves.
Also maybe slightly terrifying. Warnings throughout the game when baseball's enter foul territory. Hey, heads up. Be careful. Be mindful. Yoshida was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. His only time reaching base tonight. Anticipate a lot of Red Sox fans had their alarms set to watch him in this tournament.
Including his manager, Alex Cora, who gave him an early welcome to camp.
Yeah, AC is locked in. Gave it a go on 3-1. Now the count's full.
Yeah, part of the intrigue on Yoshida is the green monster. He spreads the ball around well, and part of the reason why the Red Sox said yes, I think this will play well, is his ability to go out there and hopefully play Pepper with that wall.
This is a $100+ million bet that the Red Sox organization is placing. You consider the posting fee that was north of 15 mil. Heading to second base with Shohei, but it ends up being a walk to Yoshida. Ohtani Ito loosening for the 9th inning.
Notice how much flatter those mounds look.
It's underneath us here at the Tokyo Dome. Bullpen's not on field level. Dean Traynor going out to talk with his reliever, Etienne.
He's a legend back in winter ball in the Dominican, Dean Traynor.
I mean, 30+ years of coaching and managing in pro baseball. Bullpen coach for the Marlins 2016 to 2019. Currently a pitching coach for MLB China.
Meantime, Team Italy.
Fouled back by Okamoto, and you could hear their chant for him in the Tokyo Dome. If you're wondering what exactly they are chanting and singing for Kazuma Okamoto, it's basically Okamoto hit one hard, hit one over the fence, hit one out. Really admire Li Ning and his instincts, his readiness, always ready to get rid of the baseball quickly.
It's been a busy night for him, but boy, you talk about energy and contagious energy.
2 balls and a strike. The pitch to Okamoto misses down and away. That's ball 4. And 4th time tonight the bases are loaded for Japan.
The next batter, second baseman,
14th free pass.
Yamada.
This is the closest 14 walk game I've ever
Of all
seen.
time, perhaps.
On
Yeah.
one side. Just on one side.
The first AB for Tetsuro Yamada. In the 7th spot where Shugo Maki started the game. The solo home run did Maki in the 7th, walked in the 3rd, a couple of ground outs. And now Yamada at one point was looked at as a massive part of the future of Japanese baseball. The star hasn't quite taken off like some folks expected it to. And at 30 years old, here with a big opportunity to represent his country in the World Baseball Classic. Big swing on 3-0 at the green light. Missed on strike 1. He was the Olympic MVP as Japan won gold in the Olympics. Three-one pitch taken to left field. Ohtani will score, and it's 5-1.
Feeding off of this energy. Upstairs in the zone, and just an outstanding swing. Great load up. Foot down on time. And flake those wrists. That was a big knock. Tack on runs. So valuable at this part of the game.
And the player most excited in that dugout is the player Yamada entered the game for in Shugo Maki. One goal. Oh, good job by leaning to keep that in front of him. Equally good job for Genda to get out of the way. And we're seeing Genda, the 2018 Japan All-Star Series against Major League Baseball, on the heels of a Rookie of the Year season in 2017. Chant for Genda. Make your hard work pay off. Use all that practice that you've been putting in. Let's see if he has the green light on 3-0. Even if he had it, didn't need it. Ball 4.
There's been multiple walks in the first inning, in the second inning, in the third inning, in the sixth inning, and in the eighth inning. 2 or more in each one of those innings.
Game starting to get away from Dean Trainer's bunch here a little bit. That's Chi-Shin in the bullpen. Back for more in the bottom of the 8th inning. Japan is looking for more. They've already scored twice. Take this game from 4-1 to 6-1. We're seeing Dean Trainer back to the bullpen. 6th arm tonight for Team China. And Wang Yuchen. It's a Cal Ripken Collegiate Summer League we're looking at there for him. It's the discussion we were having earlier. What Ray Chang has talked about and his role trying to grow the game, strengthen the pipeline for MLB China to the big leagues, and looking at college in the United States as a potential vehicle to help with those efforts.
100%.
I love college baseball,
and why not use education?
Yeah, just the experiences.
Byproduct here. Live the experience.
Base is still loaded. Takuya Kai to left field, down into the wall. 2-run score.
earlier today, you were making the comparison as to how they started the last World Baseball Classic against Cuba. A little sluggish, close ball games, and then, oh, did the floodgates open. And here we are now, up 7 runs in the 8th inning. You issue that many walks, and at some point it's going to catch up with you.
Bar fouled that off his foot, testing it out, seeing if he's okay. He's a ball player, I guess it's a given.
It'll hurt a little bit more after the game tomorrow morning.
Again, quickly has become a huge fan favorite here, and it's been so cool to watch because that one bounces away from Li Ning. Won't hurt anybody though.
Signs already made. He just arrived.
Yeah, but
how cool is that?
In knowing Lars, if you could just watch an interview and you can sense sort of his personality, his energy, how he's built for this experience. I mean, he was telling us yesterday, it just far exceeded his expectations for what this experience was going to be like. Was already incredibly meaningful to him, but just the reception he's got, not just from his teammates, but from this entire country. He'll carry that with him back to St. Louis. Second and third for him here in the bottom of the 8th.
And then at age 9, he actually said he wanted to represent Japan one day.
Manifest.
Go figure. Documented.
2 balls, 1 strike. A big piece for the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, there was a lot of talk at the beginning of the offseason about St. Louis making a big move for a catcher. This was before they signed Wilson Contreras. Big maybe trade for one in Toronto. 2-1 pitch fouled back. And the reports were the Blue Jays were asking for Lars Nootbaar, and St. Louis said, no thanks, we're good.
He just said no thanks. He's good.
Okay.
I'm staying with Oliver Marmol. Excellent job by Marmol last season.
Count now full. On the 3-2. Fought off by Nootbaar.
There's something to be said, Stephen, about a young player who comes up, immediately makes an impact in Cardinals Nation. Because those fans know.
Another foul ball. He wants to make something happen here. Battling with Wang Yuchen. In the dirt, ball 4, loaded once more. Nootbaar going to come out of the game. Remember, he had the foul ball off the foot. 8th inning, big game tomorrow against Korea. In the game now, Taisei Makihara, who was placed on the roster replacing Seiya Suzuki after the Cubs outfielder had to remove himself from the World Baseball Classic because of an injury.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Really too bad. I mean, I saw him at Cubs camp. He looked awesome in terms of the shape. He's added a lot of muscle. trying to have a big 2023 in the north side of Chicago. A reminder what's on the slate for Friday. The Czech Republic making its World Baseball Classic debut against China at 12 p.m. and Japan and Korea. Oh, nice play at first. The throw home for one. Back to first. Oh, beating it out was Makihara, but still, you got to respect the effort from Chao Che and Li Ning.
Just a slight hesitation there as he received the baseball, cost him, but nonetheless, what an effort and a great play by the first baseman coming home. Playing shallow.
It's that little.
I mean, he came close to losing the baseball on the transfer here. Take a look right here.
Just bobble.
Has enough on it. Look at this. Great athletic play, even though it's not completed at first base, but nonetheless, this kid can play.
Designated hitter Shohei Ohtani.
A pinch runner for Japan, Ukyo Shudo. Batted around. Shohei Ohtani led off this 8th inning with a single, eventually came around to score. Cell phones back out. So Shohei having the bases loaded. Ball one in the dirt.
These fans, loyal fans, all the way to the end. Got a little bonus right here. Shohei twice this inning.
Large swing.
He's not thinking single.
No.
No.
No, he ain't. Or should he?
Shohei, how do you feel?
Ohtani fouled back. And remember, with the early termination rule, after 7 innings, if you're leading by 10, the game is over. So a walk-off scenario in the 8th inning.
It can't happen.
Another foul ball. That one almost straight back into the netting.
See the four-seam fastball, the curveball, the cutter, the slider.
Throw in the kitchen sink. The best baseball player in the universe right now. Shohei high in the air to left center field. And that'll end the 8th inning. Fans saw a fly ball and they are ready to blow the roof off the Tokyo Dome. A 4-run 8th inning. And it's an 8-1 game going to the 9th. The opening day of Pool B play. Time for the top of the ninth inning.
2番ショート
Japan
ヤンジン
trying to finish off Team China.
The next batter for Team China, shortstop, Yang Jin.
Hiromi Ito.
Final line on Japan pitcher Iwasa. 1 inning, 3 strikeouts.
25-year-old right-hander.
1-6.
Yang Jin. 1 for 3 in this contest. 41,616 the announced attendance for this one. It will be capacity tomorrow.
As expected. Stay awake.
Making sure the helmet works and see Mom with the subtle touch. Enough. I'll get off. Mom, I'm trying to stay awake.
That's right.
Almost 11 o'clock local time. The strikeout for Ito.
3番
He's like, I'm going to document this behavior.
マサゴユウスケ
It's great.
The
That
next
was
batter,
great.
center fielder, Masago Yusuke.
Those kids are ready for another game.
Yusuke Masago. And a leadoff doubles last time up. A loud batted ball there, but right into the glove of Shuto, who stays in the game as the right fielder. Makihara now in center.
The
next batter, third baseman, Chen Chen.
Japan a strike away. Strike 3 ends the ball game and ends the first day of action for Pool B at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Japan wins it by a final of 8-1.